Well, here we have this article right here. Democrats make announcement. They have the votes to pass reparations legislation. Get into this. Democrats in the House of Representatives are set to pass legislation that would provide reparations for slavery. They have taken steps to force a vote to study how reparations would work, the Washington Post reported. This has been a 30-plus year journey, Democrat Texas Representative Sheila Jackson Lee said. We have to take a different approach. We have to go one by one to members to explain this does not generate a check. Reparations is about repair, and when you repair the damage that's been done, you do so much to move a society forward. This commission can be a healing process. Telling the truth can heal America, the representative said. While Democrats are confident they have the votes to gain approval in the Democrat-controlled House, they are less optimistic about the bill's fate in the Senate. Instead, they intend to push President Biden to sign an executive order that would create the commission. The bill, H.R. 40, calls for a months-long study of reparations, so supporters say they need Biden to act now so his administration could implement the commission's recommendations before the end of his term. This is one of those strange things where I ask the question, where does it end? Okay, you do this, okay, you look at all this, where does it end? When do we move on as a nation? The article continues, the White House did not respond to multiple requests for comment on the legislation or whether Biden would consider an executive order. During the 2020 Democratic primary election, the Washington Post asked candidates if they thought the federal government should pay reparations to the descendants of enslaved people. That's an interesting phrase right there to me. Enslaved people. But anyways, nearly all of the leading contenders, including Biden, said they supported an in-depth study of the issue. Their answers represent a significant shift compared to President Barack Obama's rejection of the idea in his 2008 campaign. Revisiting the issue in an interview last year, Obama said that reparations are justified, but the politics of white resistance and resentment made the issue a non-starter during his presidency. That's because a lot of people ask, where does it end? At what point? And, Obama, Biden, all the Democrats cannot answer that question. They can't, because they don't know. The people they are trying to appease cannot be appeased. And they know that. Going on. So if you ask me theoretically, are reparations justified? The answer is yes, he said on Bruce Springsteen's Renegades Born in the USA podcast last year. There's not much a question that the wealth of this country, the power of this country, was built in significant part, not exclusively, maybe not even the majority of it, but a large portion of it was built on the backs of slaves. If it's not significant, not even majority, then the majority of the wealth isn't from slavery. Anyways, the former president said that he did not believe he would have been able to get it done during his presidency. What I saw during my presidency was the politics of white resistance and resentment, the talk of welfare queens and the talk of undeserving poor and the backlash against affirmative action. All that made the prospect of actually proposing any type of coherent, meaningful reparations program struck me politically not only a non-starter but potentially counterproductive. And again, they don't want to answer the question, where does it end? That's what a lot of people want. When do we move on from this? Everything's... If I ask that question, I'm racist according to these people. So be it. Nikai Taffer, Director of Reparation Education Project, described her journey to get reparations to be considered. I started fighting for reparations at a time when it didn't pass the laugh test, when I spent most of my time trying to get people in power just to utter the word reparations, she said. That changed with George Floyd. He was like Emmett Till of the 21st century. It was something about his murder that captured the attention of the world like Emmett Till's murder did 70 years ago. And it started a new movement which has led to mainstream conversation about reparations. But people need to know that this conversation didn't just pop up overnight on the internet. People have been fighting for reparations for a long time. But a black candidate for Congress, Greg Marcel Dixon, thinks it's simply a stunt for black voters prior to the midterms. This bill, which is just a study, is now being pushed to placate black voters due to the upcoming midterms elections. They do this and will have us waiting another few centuries. Hell no, we demand and deserve real reparations now, he said. Now, in a way, he's partly right, because Democrats are losing the black vote. This is something that's been seen over the past 10, 20 years now. They're slowly and steadily losing the black vote. So they have to do something to make it sound like they're doing something for blacks. Because for 50, 60 years, they've been all about the black people, and the black people aren't any better off than they were. In fact, they're probably worse off, if you ask many of them. So no, really, this is as you did say right here, it's to placate the black voter, to get them to vote Democrat again. And quite honestly, I think all this will do, really, is just drive an even bigger wedge between the races. That's all this will do. It won't do a damn thing, and it won't placate the people who the people that they are trying to appease here with this will continue to want more and more and more. They won't stop with just this. There'll be something else after this and after that. And if you don't do what they want, you're a racist. Let me know what you think. I'm Grid7 on YouTube. Come over to Rumble, like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you next video.